We covered how to install Jenkins master on EC2 server, provisioned in AWS, and then we also uh, gone through the demo session of how to add nodes to the Jenkins master and how to execute the freestyle pipeline. It was a very small demo session, a quick one. And today I'm going to cover how you can create a pipeline using Jenkins file and integrate it with GitHub. How you can utilize GitHub in this scenario, right? So when you work in an enterprise environment, you see that there are developers working on some codes, and those codes are checked in to GitHub. But being a DevOps guy, you get a scenario, you are asked to create a pipeline using those codes to deploy an app or build an app. So I'm not going to deploy any app for now, but yes, I'll show you how you can uh, make it work in your environment or in your Jenkins environment in an enterprise level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start uh, looking at what the prerequisite we need. So I'll say demo pipeline, and then I'll say hit OK. Here I have some sections to fill in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to skip all of them because this is something that you can fill it by yourself. What is this for? This is for this is for demo session of creating pipeline, right? So this is not a parameterized project. Means I'll show you later on how you can parameterize it. But for this, how you can last time when we created a freestyle pipeline, we were getting the node label to mention here, so that it when whatever job you are going to create, it will pick the node, the selected node that we have in here. So that part we are not setting up here. How we can, but how we can set it up? We can set it up like this. We'll go ahead and say, hey, let's check this box because this is required. But for just testing purpose, you can also disable it. But in enterprise environment, you must have the GitHub webhook enabled in on the GitHub side. So that's not required for this session. All right. So that part I'll cover when I talk about purely on GitHub. Okay. So the first prerequisite is we are not gonna create a pipeline script right here, although you can create it as well. But what I'll do is I'll say I'm not going to create I'm not going to put the script here. I'm going to pick the script from the GitHub. So when you say pick the script from GitHub, that means picking up the files from GitHub, and you'll have to configure git URL here. So one prerequisite is you need the GitHub URL. Another prerequisite, you need the authentication to the GitHub, right? Which we will set it up right away. And the third is which branch do you need on GitHub to get the files picked up from. And last but not the least is the Jenkins file, the path of the Jenkins file or the Jenkins file, right? So what I'll do here is I'll fulfill the all prerequisites right here. So on the next tab, all you need to do is go to GitHub, sign up there from with the help of your username and password. I already did that. So what I'll do, once you signed up, you see this page. So on this page of GitHub, you go here and say new repository. So I've created it with Shankar's demo. This is not the repository name, but the account name. If you see here on the right side, so under my account, there would be a repository called demo repository, demo repo. Okay, which is available. So I'm not gonna keep it private for now. I'm gonna do it for public because um, you can also keep it private because authentication will be based on the keys and the passwords. So, but I'm just keeping it like this. I'll add the admin file. Rest of the things I'll set it up like this because I'm not covering any GitHub session here. I'm covering Jenkins, but since GitHub integration is a part of it, so I'll um, directly create the repository. So my repository is created, and when I go here, I see HTTPS URL. So this is the URL. Make sure where it is under code in your master branch, and this code, click on code. When you click code, you will get HTTPS and SSH URL, but you need to pick or copy HTTPS URL, put it here. So one prerequisite is done. Another one is you need to configure the Jenkins for it. I'm sorry, you need to configure the credentials for it. So I'll say add credentials. I'll keep the username as password, but username will be my account name on GitHub, Shankar's demo, right? I saw I showed you here, Shankar's demo. So it's the username, and the password would not be the password that I used in what do we say it in while setting signing up, but it is a personal access token. So what you need to do is you need to go here in the profile and in the settings, go to developer settings on the left hand side at the bottom. Click here, personal tokens. I'll use classic one for now. Generate new token. I'll choose classic, and I'll say this is for Jenkins in GitHub. So Gengit. I'll keep it like this. Expiration date, you can set it up. So if you set no expiration date, it will not expire. But if you are hard coding somewhere, you just need to consult it with the developers and the management, and then decide how you can make it up. I'll just keep everything by default and choose everything. You can scope this. This is nothing but what level of access your account should have. It is personal access token. It defines the a key that has these set of accesses. So for now, I'll just say everything to yes, yes to everything. I mean, like this. You just need to read that access, but I'm still granting each and every access. It has nothing to do with, although most of them nothing have nothing to do with the task that we are going to perform now, but still. So I'll say generate token. So make sure this is the one-time visibility here. So you just copy this and save it locally like this, and use it here as the password. ID is something you can give, like you can give the ID name as username as well, or anything that you would like to. Or I'll say GitHub token. Okay, and then I'll say add. I'll leave the description as is. I'll say add here. Now here I see, apart from Jenkins, we now have Shankar's demo and credentials. So I'll select this, and now it's asking for the branch. Let's see what branch we have here by default under our repository. We'll go again here, and then your repositories that we created, demo repo. So the branch is master by default, and we already have master in here, so that's fine. That's good. And now we need Jenkins file, right? So what I'll do here is I'll say add file, create new file. I'll name it as Jenkins file. This is case sensitive, so whatever you see here, either make it a small, the J is in capital, just make it small, or else pick the name as is right here as well. Jenkins file, okay, and master. And you need to Jenkins file is nothing but the steps that you would define what your pipeline would do, right? You can I'll show you what I'm gonna talk about. So this is all predefined sample that I created before I you know joined. So what I'll do it, I'll explain it. This is the pipeline. which will use the agent Linux, right? We have two agents installed. It will pick up the agent Linux, and then what it do, the stages that it would go through. For now, there is only one: check version. So what steps it would perform to check version? It would say it would execute the shell script, wherein it would check node version and it would check npm version. All right. So whatever steps you are defining here, it will execute it there. But when we run this job, the only thing you would get the positive output when you have these things, these tools or the service features installed on within your Linux agent Linux. If they are not there, then there is no point of running and checking the node version. You will get the failure, right? To have the successful job, you must have the version installed. You can use the shell script to use the install command here as well. But what I did is, to make it simpler, I logged into this agent, Linux agent. I'll restart it. I logged into Linux agent and I ran these two commands. So for you, I'm showing it on a screen. So your agent should also have git installed, right? So that cloning will be possible if once executed, once job is executed. So you should have git installed. So for that, you can run this command, and then after that, once git installed, you can run these two commands to have node.js installed. Also, you can run this as well. In addition to it, npm install, npm hyphen, and all these three commands, you should run it from the root user. So before running this command, just do sudo su hyphen, right? And then run this command, these commands one by one, right? So I have already run these commands. I can show you what command I'll run through Jenkins. I can run it from local for now, just to make you aware of what I'm talking about. Node hyphen hyphen version, right? npm hyphen hyphen version. So when I run these two commands, we got the version of node, we got the version of 9.2 npm 9.2.0, right? So this is the output that we are expecting from the Jenkins job, right, as an output. So I have created this. You can define as many as steps you want, as many as stages you want, right? Like build, deploy, right, test. These are the stages that you can define. So I'll save this file. I'll say first commit new file. Okay, it is saved here. Now I'll go back to Jenkins. I will not do much here. I'll just click apply and then save. And now I'll run build now command. I'll say build now. Let's see what it does. It has started executing the first pipeline, and now in the console output we see a success check mark. That means this job has run successfully. So it is running on the agent Linux. That's fine. That's very great. It has obtained Jenkins file from this GitHub repo that we configured. Very good. And now it has also uh, uh, picked up the message that we put on while committing the file, and then as an output, like I showed you, node version 14.2 and npm version 9.2.0. So this is the job that we can run using Jenkins file. We can make a use of it. Just to add on here, like we described the shell commands here. If you want, you can call the scripts. You can have scripts folder created here, and you can put several scripts there separately, .sh scripts, and then you can call those scripts from Jenkins file as well, right? You can have the environment variable set up here as well, and that would also pick up things from here. Like we created this, right? What we have, right? Mm, so we created this credential. You can also sometimes what you get some commands that has some encryption keys, that has some passwords, tokens, APIs, keys. So that should be created here, and you can mention those environment variables here, right? And then you can in the shell command you can put them as the variable, like dollar and then the name of it. So if I get a case, I'll surely create another video mentioning the same. But for this, I just wanted to let you know how you can work with pipelines other than freestyle. How you can work with other setup of pipeline using Jenkins file. So it is very important, and these days this is how it works in an enterprise level. So I'll cover the GitHub, few GitHub things, like how you can modify everything from the command lines, and then do the commit from the command line only. But that is the part of GitHub tutorial. So I'll not. That's the reason I haven't covered this in Jenkins part. So this is a very short and very interesting thing. You can also deep dive by your own. You can Google it. You can create sample pipelines and see it is if it is working for you. All right. So thank you so much for watching this video. Have a nice day ahead.